All right, good morning, everyone. Today is November the 5th, 2025, time's 9 a.m., and we're opening this Board of County Commissioners meeting to discuss the 2026 draft budget. All right, Tiffany? Yes, go ahead and do a roll call. Thank you.
Commissioner Buck?
Here.
Commissioner Schroeder?
Here.
Commissioner McDaniel?
Here.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
All right, motion to approve the agenda as presented. Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Your turn, Tiffany. Motion carries. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tiffany Hermes, Finance Director. I'm here today to present to you our draft 2026 budget and hopefully get a couple of answers to a couple of the questions that we have had putting this together. Of course, we are here today to provide the BOCC and citizens a preview of our 2026 budget and the fund requests. Overall, for the county, our expenses are at $57 million, and our revenue is going to be, that's 2025. For 2026, our revenue is at $53 million, and our expenditures are at $54. We are staying pretty overall flat, and our revenue is increasing while our expenses are just coming down a little bit from the previous year. The general fund is looking fairly stable this year as well. Our revenue is coming in at $22 million, while our expenditures are coming in at $23.6. So that's currently putting our general fund about 1.5, possibly in using fund balance, but we are staying relatively flat between the growth. Here is a list of all of the department requests for FTEs. You guys have been given this information and a little bit of time to look over that. We did have a total of 22 FTE requests for the general fund itself. And then we had 3 requests from Road and Bridge. This was the number of budgeted FTEs in our 2025 budget. You'll see there was 221.5 because we do have a few part-time employees. And the 2026 budgeted FTEs are currently at 236. As far as equipment and vehicles that the departments requested, we had facilities request a Kubota mower and an RC mower. The Sheriff's Office has requested ballistic shields. They have also requested 11 additional Tahoes. And then Road and Bridge has requested multiple pieces for roughly $1.1 million out of their Fund 25, which is their sales and use tax fund. Capital projects, we had some requests, but unfortunately this is not a year that we really can do much. But one that we would suggest is the fairgrounds, upgrading the crow's nest, the lighting, and the sound system for our main arena. And that would come out of our Fund 90, which is our Conservation Trust Fund. Proposed salary changes for employees. This is a 3% COLA. This is showing you where the payroll is at and what that 3% would change. And then another proposition would be possibly doing a 3% COLA with a 2% merit. The overall difference between that is $348,000 overall. That is broke down for you by department or by fund, excuse me, so you can see the increases. And then benefit subsidy. We are proposing increasing that by 5%, which would allow the employees to stay flat. Our insurance rates are going about 5%, so if we increase subsidy about 5%, the employee should not see a hit with that. Here's just a quick overview of the different funds in the previous and proposed budgets. General fund last year was at $20.4 million in expenditures and $22.5 in revenue. This year we're looking at $22.5 in expenditures and $23.6 in revenue. Our health fund last year was about $687,000 in expenditures and $655,000 in revenue, while 2026 is looking at $605,000 in expenditures and $595,000 in revenue. Road and Bridge came in last year, or for 2025, about $13.9 million in expenditures and $13.9 million in revenue. In 2026, they're looking at bringing in $13 million in revenue and also expending about $13 million in revenue. Sales and use tax, this is for Road and Bridge as well. This year, in 2025, they had $8.5 million in expenditures, or excuse me, in revenue, and $11.8 million in expenditures. In 2026, they're looking at $8.5 million in revenue and $8.6 million in expenditures. Our LEAF fund is for the Sheriff's Office. They are scheduled for $410,000 in revenue in 2025. And looking to expend $726,000. In 2026, we are looking at $500,000 in revenue and expending $861,000. Human Services Fund, this is of course mostly by federal and state funding, and they do get a small portion of our mills. They were at $5.8 million in revenue this last year and $5.3 million in expenditures. And in 2026, we are looking at $8.4 million in revenue and, excuse me, my numbers, $5.9 million in expenditures. Moving on to our retirement fund. We had $786,000 in revenue, $804,000 in expenditures. And in 2026, we are looking at $821,000 in revenue and $924,000 in expenditures. Capital improvement, we are doing about $100,000 worth of projects this year, but we do have nothing scheduled for 2026.
How much did you say? I'm sorry to interrupt you. How much did you say in expenditures?
For capital, $100,000.
Thank you.
Sun Country Meadows, PID, we had $189,000 projected for revenue this year and $132,000 in expenditures. In 2026, we're looking at $207,000 and expenditures at $138,000. Our impact fund, we had $908,000 in revenue and $233,000 in expenditures. In 2026, we're looking at $1.1 million in revenue and $409,000 in expenditures. This is our Conservation Trust, Fund 90. This is specifically for projects at the fairgrounds. This year, we're looking at $230,000 in revenue and expenditures at $298,000. In 2026, we're looking at $240,000 and only $35,000 in expenditures unless we do the capital project. Our debt service fund, which is for our jail. We are budgeting the same amount for both 25 and 26, which is $461,000 in both revenue and expenditures, which just covers the bond payment. Here is a listing of our fund balances from our audited 2024 information. And this is projecting what our 2025 will look like on forecasting currently with revenue and expenditures. So going forward today, if we can get a few answers on COLA merit and benefits, FTEs, equipment, and capital projects. And do you all have questions or comments for me?
Mr. Schroeder?
Just to begin with, I want to thank you and your department for all the hard work. I know the budget's always a heavy lift, and you all lead that department well and give us the information that we need. And likewise to all the other elected department heads. It truly is a county-wide event, putting a budget together, and so we certainly appreciate everybody's efforts in putting the budget together and what the needs are, and then start whittling down where we have to. So I do appreciate that and understand that this is presentation of the draft budget, and we'll have a final one in December.
Correct.
And just to echo what Commissioner Schroeder said, and just to be clear again, say it again, this is a draft budget. This is the finalized budget will be later this year in December, correct?
December 15th.
All right. So, Commissioner Buck.
Just once again, thank you for all your hard work. I also want to thank you for your patience. I know this was our first round with the budget, so I want to thank you for our patience and all of our questions that we had. I think that was a great learning experience and kind of getting us caught up and up to speed on some of these budget issues. The only thing I can recommend is get the bigger font for
Yes.
for some of those. If you have to go to legal size paper, I don't care. But even with the readers, I'm struggling.
Very small. I understand.
So if you could do that, that'd be great. But otherwise, great job. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. I don't have any questions.
To the FTE requests, so you guys can see those again.
Commissioner Schroeder, you got any additional questions, sir?
No, I have no questions, but this is always the struggle where we're at. Employees are always a priority and the highest part of our budgets, and so we have to be cognizant of all those things. I think as we move forward with what we have in our budget, if I understand correctly, we currently have in here a treasurer, admin, a part-time water/planner, 2 additional deputies, and with some more discussion to be taking place there. And perhaps that's where the budget sits right now, as I understand it.
Correct. We do currently have a treasurer admin, the water planner, and we had moved 2 of the deputies that were currently in LEAF to the general fund, and then we'll fill those 2 positions that were in LEAF with 2 traffic deputies, so they would receive 2 additional.
And as far as the road and bridge, I understand their request is to keep their admin and their loader operator.
Correct. After looking at their budget some more, they decided that they could do the loader operator and the fleet and parts admin, but would hold off on the sign tech.
So they pulled one.
Yes.
Is that all you have, sir?
That's all I have. Just one.
All right, Commissioner Buck, any additional questions?
No additional questions at this time.
Okay. All right, being this is a public hearing, do we have anybody here to make any kind of public comments? Seeing none, we will continue on. Do we need to reschedule or set a new meeting for our next budget hearing at this point?
I think we still have
Should we schedule it now?
some items we need to discuss.
Okay. You want to go with the COLA items? Go down the list.
Yeah, I think all of these we need to at least address today.
Okay.
So that finance has direction, and then keeping in mind that these are drafts, and we can see what the effect is on this budget as we continue to move forward. But in order for finance to move forward, to continue to refine this, we need to discuss these things today.
So let's just start at the top of the list then, if that's all right, and we start with the COLA merit and benefit. Commissioner Buck, you want to kick it off?
No, just, I would like to see if the county manager, Sean, if you had any input on recommendations or how we should address that. I know there's a couple of things that we're kicking around, maybe possibly doing this way, maybe going this way, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on it and have some input.
Yeah, I think we've been discussing this from time to time, and we've already had the open work study session with all the elected and appointed department heads. We've even trimmed this down further. We had discussed this initially when we came in over 3 million over. It's been trimmed down to 1.5 or so. Basically, we just need answers right now so we can meet our December deadline for the COLA merit and benefit, what that number the board has in mind, so we can get that finalized for the final draft. We also have the FTEs, which we've discussed already, the treasurer admin, the water planner, 2 traffic deputies, and also we'd like to hear what the board is thinking about the other positions that the sheriff's office has requested, if there's any that are coming to mind now, specifically with the promotions that were asked for, if the board has any thoughts on that. And then obviously the equipment, the mower for facilities, ballistic shields, road and bridge equipment in Fund 25. Also clarification on the sheriff office Tahoes that were requested. And then if there's any capital projects that the board needs added or removed that we've already discussed. So basically, you don't have to worry about that final date because it's already on the calendar. And so obviously, we know it's coming up in December, but we just need this finalized before December so we can make these adjustments.
All right, so I have a question for you. So for clarification, if we move forward with the water planner, is the intent here to cancel the contract with USGS?
Yes, that is exactly what has been requested. And so obviously having that position brought in and then finding out the functionality and the capabilities of whoever is selected by the board, that would be great.
I can add to that a little bit. My recommendation would be to transition away from USGS contract, get the reports that they have promised us this fall, and then make that hire, pick the appropriate person for the position, and then start with the training, see if USGS will help with that transition. If not, we have a backup trainer that will assist as well, and we can kind of hit the ground running, would be how I envisioned it. But to just say day one, hey, we're canceling it, I wouldn't recommend it until we get our reports that they owe us and see if they'll help with the transition. Any
Yeah.
data that
So
they
do we
want,
need to-
additional data, that kind of thing.
I think
Yeah,
really
go
we're
ahead.
looking for someone experienced as well, if I can add that. Also, we need to see exactly what the functionality is of the new employee, and if they need training or support, obviously we will give them that. We're not just going to cut it cleanly.
No.
But when it's time, yes, we will separate.
So what I was envisioning versus, or on a transitioning period, show them the routes that we're currently, show them the wells, the locations, and that sort of thing, and just kind of familiarize them with what we're doing, introduce them to everybody, and then, and then cut them loose. Hopefully, we can get the right person to be able to make that happen. So we
If
are
they're
getting,
willing to
some
do that.
resumes in.
Yeah, that makes perfectly good sense. That's why we're going to make sure you're heavily involved in that process, because this is something that you've been really in support of.
So I feel like there needs to be some kind of date set or timeline set. We just don't want to run 10, 11, 12 months and still, we've hired a water planner and we're running our cost up. So we can discuss this later, but I think, what do we say, in 4 months, 6 months?
I think it's going to move faster than that. The position's already been posted. We still have more and more applicants applying every day. We will send you those resumes to review, and start setting dates on folks that you would like to interview.
I just would say this, that quite frankly, I don't have any confidence in USGS coming in here, training somebody for us or showing them the routes has been stated here. I think that's something we're going to have to, I won't say reinvent the wheel, but I think it's going to take just a little bit of time to get that done. So, all right. Commissioner Schroeder, you have any comments, sir?
Not on that.
Okay. Do we need to give finance some direction here? Do you have a recommendation? Either of you?
Well, I think we definitely need to keep the 3% COLA. As far as the merit, I think that we have some other potential expenses coming up that we need to keep in mind before we totally commit to that. I appreciate having the side-by-side comparison, but until some other decisions are made, I don't know that we can come to a final today on that. We have some upcoming meetings that may clarify that a little bit more, but I would be hesitant to go one way or the other on this because we might have some changes.
I would agree.
I would agree as well.
All right. Yeah, we'll move down to the FTEs. Discuss that real quick. Commissioner Schroeder?
No, I've said what I need to about that.
Okay. Sean?
Well, once again, the FTEs that we were just wanting clarification on, obviously, we've already discussed the treasurer admin, the water planner, which, just for your information, we have discussed it primarily as a part-time position, but we also have it posted as part-time or full-time if the board should decide at some point that this position is going to be more robust than what's actually there. Traffic deputies, we've discussed, and load operator and the admin for road and bridge, we've discussed. So basically, we just need to hear you all say yes, that's the way you want to go, and then just clarification at some point on those other sheriff office positions. When I say the other ones, I'm thinking about the promotions. So, and that would be great to get that so we can budget appropriately. And then once again, the equipment that was requested, a yes to that so we can move forward with putting it into the budget. Obviously, we'd like a decision on the capital projects. If we're just going to focus on that project that's the fairgrounds, then let's hear a yes to that. So we get all this stuff put into the budget and finalized. So, when December gets here, and it's coming fast, we can have our final meeting with the final budget as it needs to be presented and approved by the board.
So it was my understanding yesterday that regarding the deputy positions, the promotions and so forth, we were going to have some additional discussions on that. As far as the equipment goes with the Kubota, ballistic shields, so forth, I mean, those are items that have been clearly stated that are needed. Commissioner Buck, do you have any comments, sir?
No, I think we covered it. I think we are going to try to circle back and discuss a little bit more on some of these promotions and positions and see exactly what we need for the final budget in December. The other one is, as far as equipment, we have some things we're not going to move forward with. We didn't move forward with the RC mower, but we do have, that was more of an ask potentially for next year or the following year. But the things that were definitely required and needed this year, we haven't budgeted in. So I think that was good. And then the capital project is the only one we need to discuss, and we only have one on the table. And that's the fairground upgrade.
Correct.
So I think we're okay.
Yeah, I'm in favor of the fairgrounds project. The other thing we haven't discussed is the sheriff's office vehicles. Given the fact that we have several in the pipeline right now, and there's status of the LEAF fund. I believe the direction we've given is order 4 on January 1st and 4 more on July 1st. I think that's what we've landed on.
That was, yes, that's what we landed on yesterday, and as you said, we were going to have some additional discussions about some other cost savings, and as well as we needed to discuss with the sheriff's office the promotions and things. We needed a few answers, so.
Well, I'd also like to point out that the sheriff and undersheriff are here, so if you have a question on the promotion positions or anything else, you can certainly ask.
It was my understanding yesterday that we were going to set up a work study session with the sheriff's office. Is that wrong? Is that
No, that was correct. More of a management meeting.
management meeting? Sorry. So I think that's the plan, is we'll have a management meeting with the sheriff's office.
Thank you.
All right, and as far as let's go back to the crow's nest at the fairgrounds.
Correct.
I'm certainly in favor of that. I think Commissioner Schroeder just indicated he was. Commissioner Buck?
Well, my only question is for Maddie would be to, kind of drill this down a little bit for us in the future, get an exact price. It's a very rough estimate, it sounds like. So hopefully we can get some savings there, potentially.
Yes, with your approval to put this into the budget, we would go out for bid, and he would have more formalized numbers for you to present.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, is there anything else we need to discuss today for you?
I think that was all I needed. Thank you.
That's all you needed? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, with that being said, is there a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, sign of aye.
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 Aye. We are officially adjourned. Thank you.